Ouch! That's too hard. Oh, poop. Oh boy, they're falling out. I'm Zach George. I train dogs, and this is my new dog, Inertia. I'm taking you along as I train her from day one. You can start from the beginning or pick up anywhere and start learning. Welcome to the Dog Training Experience. In this episode, we'll keep working on Inertia's puppy biting. We're gonna take her to the vet to get her very first shots with me. Hopefully, we'll take crate training to the next level, as well as give her lots of brand new experiences, which are critical to raising a puppy. Let's talk about puppy food. I've talked to board certified vet nutritionists all over America about what's best for young dogs like Inertia. Now, I know many of you might be interested in trying a special diet or a homemade diet for your dog, but all of the research that I've done so far indicates that puppyhood is not the time to experiment with a diet like this. Puppies have very specific nutritional needs, and every vet nutritionist that I've spoken with recommends a commercial diet that is specifically formulated for a puppy's growth. If you're the type of person that insists on feeding trials, which means that they've actually tested the food on puppies and then measured to make sure that it was meeting all of their nutritional needs, then look for the Association of American Feed Control Officials for a statement on the label which states the food has undergone feeding tests or feeding trials. That's a sign that the diet has been tested and is balanced and complete for your puppy. This doesn't mean that these are the only good foods out there. They're just the only ones that have undergone food trials by the AAFCO. Our sponsor, PetFlow, has all of the brands to choose from, and they specialize in getting your pet's food to you on time and automatically. You can get $10 off your first 3 automatic shipments when you enter code ZAC30. I'll have the details below in the description. So this is day 6 with Inertia. She's just woken up. And kind of the routine we've been getting in is I've been letting her play a lot. We've just been wrestling, a lot of free play. So that's what we're in the process of doing right now. It seems it's easier to flip her on switch. And what I mean by that is just get her playing on cue. I mean, she's still intermittent with it, but getting your dog to play on cue can be very valuable if they're that kind of dog. And I still don't know if she's totally that kind of dog or not, but so far this is pretty intense play. I like it. I'm working on the beginnings of fetch, so it's oh, you forgot your toy, but that's okay. I'm still gonna play with her even though she didn't bring it back because, hey, she came to me and that's always awesome. Go get that toy. Yes. Good, see that veering off? That's why you have them on leash. Another reason I'm exercising her this morning is since she's going to the vet, getting a lot of this excess energy out might be helpful. Her play biting is really taking its course here in the form of biting shoelaces, flesh, all of that. We've been really working on her bite inhibition and really showing her the appropriate force to bite. It's okay to bite this hard, but when it comes to my flesh, ouch, that's too hard. She left a little mark there. Yes, good girl. And see, I'm actually letting her bite here because she's biting soft. It's okay to bite soft. She's giving me the look. Whoa! Dog catch, good job. That was good. Did you see her jump into my arms? What are you saying? Gonna let her walk here since I'm really supervising her, just let her explore and interact with the world, kind of on her terms to a degree, just so she can get to know things and learn about what this world has to offer. I put down a couple of area rugs here, so we have lots of room to train and for her to keep traction since she's a clumsy puppy. Oh, poop. Oh boy, they're falling out. At least we got our fecal sample for the vet. During early vet visits, do your best to make things enjoyable for your dog. We're gonna put some dog squeeze cheese on the table here to keep her preoccupied while she gets poked and prodded a little bit. But she's doing really well. Look at that's keeping her attention, see that? And look, perfect reaction there. She's like, whatever. Good job, Inertia. Very nice.
So this is our distemper, parvo, parainfluenza, and adenovirus.
So this is, yeah, first shot since I've had her. Wow, look at that. She's not even flinching. Good job. Didn't even notice it. Inertia's really been taking to the clicker. She definitely understands the click means she's getting a treat.
This is a dewormer.
Oh, good.
In case there are any intestinal parasites
Great.
that we've picked up. You want another treaty? Look, so this is our Bordetella vaccine. Oh my goodness,
She's doing great.
so perfect.
Inertia just did so amazing. You can see how Dr. Abby really made that extra effort to keep her content and just really wanted to create that wonderful association with being at the vet early on during this time. I'd say we're succeeding so far. Keep in mind that I cover how to get your dog comfortable with the vet and everything else dog training related in both of my books. I'll have links in the description. We saw an opportunity to do some socialization. I'm gonna expose her to some fish and new smells and environments. I can't put her on the ground yet because she's not fully vaccinated. You wanna go see the kitty cat? Let's go over here. Make sure the cat reacts well. I don't wanna stress out the cat either. The vet visit and social time went pretty well, so let's continue some crate training. We've been working on crate training and getting her to go in voluntarily. At no point have I put her into the crate physically at all. Now, if you've done this with your own dog, it's not a big deal. Just take a step back. It might take a little bit longer. The rule for us right now anyway is that she needs to go in the crate on her own. This has been a fun exercise in building that connection with the clicker. Every time I click, she gets the treat. Therefore, she's motivated to go into the crate. I'm gonna actually take her off leash since I'm closely supervising her, because I really want to introduce closing the door finally. See, up to this point, at least one door has been open on this 2-door crate. And right now, I'm only clicking because she's voluntarily staying in the crate with all 4 feet. She's free to come out. And if she does come out, I'm just gonna wait for her to go back in. Maybe I'll encourage her to go back in with treats. So here you can see she's come back out of the crate. Let me see if I can get her to go back in. Nice, good job. Do that. There you go. See, it's really about timing here. You don't want to underclick when you're at a fragile moment like this. And this is her breakfast. I have the opportunity to be super liberal on rewarding. Yes, good job. And it's worth mentioning with puppies, you can get by with rewarding them with kibble. Generally, I would use a higher value currency, but right now she's only 8.5 weeks old, so we're just more trying to get her comfortable with things. Yes, good. I'm gonna give her a little jackpot reward there for lying down and settling on her own. Did you see right there how she was thinking about getting up when I closed and I just opened it? Leave it partially open, just letting her know that you'll get rewarded. I'm only keeping the door shut for seconds at a time right now so that she'll understand that sometimes the door is open and sometimes it's closed. You're doing so good, settle. She's really starting to anticipate what's working. Let's go ahead and keep it closed for a minute and reward her through the crate here like this. I've also taken the divider panel out because she's been doing very well in potty training so far. She hasn't had any accidents in the crate. I've been letting her out in the middle of the night. If she hits a settle and lies down on her own, that's awesome. I'm not gonna require that right now, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. I want her in that relaxed frame of mind in the crate. I want her comfortable being alone in a controlled environment in a crate so I can go take a shower, get some work done, provide enough exercise during giving her training and all of that. Her tendency is to whine a little bit after she goes into the crate. I'm gonna walk away. Okay, see right there, she starts whining the second I walk away. I'm gonna see if she'll settle down for a second. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and reward that sit because it's like, hey, come back here. I'll sit, I'll behave. So I'm letting her know that I expect her to behave and relax when I walk away. We're trying to slowly phase out that whining, and it has been less and less as we've moved on. After 5 and 10 minutes, she tends to chill out and relax. Now that we've given her an idea that sometimes the door closes and I walk away, let's take a step back and work on the first part of this exercise for a bit. Training isn't linear like that. I'm not gonna reward her right now because her feet are outside of the crate. You see how she's making her decisions right there? How we're shaping her to really understand that when you decide to go into the crate voluntarily, that's where you get your rewards. Here, oh, good job. I was gonna put her on leash, but I didn't need to just then. She was going to the crate. Good job, Inertia. Did you see how she's not stressing as we close that door? Nice job, girl. There's no need to correct and be like, no, get back in the crate here. Instead, we're just going to withhold the kibble here. That's what she really wants right now is the food. That's what you gotta be patient for. By going the extra mile here and just waiting, you're gonna get your dog voluntarily doing things. It's gonna make puppyhood, in theory, a lot easier. Another very successful crate training session, and we're gonna continue to work on this exercise several times a day. Good job, Inertia. We have an older dog, Indy, and I've still not had them interact directly because in the past, well, Indy has had unfavorable reactions to new dogs occasionally. This is day 6 now of having Inertia, and we're only just now doing this, and that's very much by design because Inertia's still quite young and she may also be more prone to getting scared. She's been pretty confident, I have to say, especially the last 3 or 4 days, more so than the first few days. So that fear period is lightening up a little bit, it seems, but we're still gonna be cautious. You can see Inertia's like, oh, okay, fine, looks normal to me. Indy's like, whatever. That's good, I like this. So I'm not rushing to introduce them by any stretch, especially with a young puppy like this, because sometimes puppies might view something as scary, and when they're young, that can really make an impression on them. The ability to smell one another is also quite important too. Dogs learn so much through smell. That's really all I wanted to accomplish with this particular training session here. Just get them close together. I'm also giving them treats, so again, they have that association of being with one another equals them getting cool, great stuff, especially when they're behaving like this. I'm fairly confident that if we introduce them slowly over the next week or two, that things will be much more likely to go smoother. We take a lot of pictures around here, so I want to prepare Inertia for future photo shoots. This big giant flash we have can be off-putting to some dogs, so I'm gonna do my best to keep treats and play happening while the flash continues to go off. Remember that your dog is the one who chooses what is reinforcing to them. I wanted to train her with treats just now, but Inertia wants to play instead. That's fine with me. The point of this training session is to simply expose her to something new while going out of our way to provide desirable outcomes around this unusual thing called a giant camera flash. Socialization is critical at this age for Inertia, but I have to limit her social experiences to areas where many dogs don't frequent due to her vaccination status. Also, since she's still at a delicate point when it comes to being socialized around other dogs, I'm prioritizing exposing her to new settings, people, and dogs at a distance. You won't believe the amount of opportunities that come about in a place such as your front yard. So right now we're just hanging out in the front yard. There's lots of bikers and walkers driving by, and you know, Inertia still isn't at the point where she listens reliably outside, so I'm just doing some desensitizing out here. Goes without saying, but she should be on leash. To clarify, in this case, desensitizing is simply giving your dog low-level exposure to new stuff. You might have noticed I didn't click and treat when that biker went by because she's not so responsive to treats right now. The outside is pretty enticing. Even though she's just chilling out, she's really kind of overwhelmed by the ground sense. So I want those ground scents to become completely normal to her. That's why we're just sitting out here doing nothing. Let's see. She did take a treat there. She wasn't taking a treat earlier, now she is, so that indicates that she's maybe a little more comfortable. That's good, that's progress. I wasn't expecting that. Let's say your dog was not themselves at the park or any other place that you went to. They won't take treats, they're just so distracted by their environment. This is how you get past that. You spend a significant amount of time in those environments where those environments are normal to your dog. Got people walking by in the distance. Go ahead and see if she'll take a treat with these people coming by. Ideally, I like the calm behavior when people are around. I'm not sure how long that's gonna last in this situation. You can see she's being very calm. Nice job. I don't expect that to stay that way. I'm gonna try to keep it that way, but as puppies get older, they get more inquisitive, more curious. Only time will tell how she'll do on that long term. Got a car, all sorts of action. You might not think of being outside in your front yard as being very exciting to you or your dog, but dogs are learning at every moment. Being outside and observing the world is no different. She's an 8.5-week-old puppy who really does need to explore and kind of learn this texture and see how that works. I mean, this is probably her first time ever seeing cedar chips like this. It's a fine line though. On one hand, exploring new things like wood chips is necessary, but on the other hand, well, it's not a good idea to chew on or ingest wood chips either. These are the nuances that you have to face when raising a new pup. How can I get you off these cedar chips? See, I really don't want to pull her away, but I also don't want her digging up my yard. Let's see if she'll be responsive to a lure. Okay, I'll click that. It's a step in the right direction. Good job, nice job. Isn't that weird? And she's reacting there, see that? She's like, where is that coming from? Nice, she sees it. That's cool. Oh, look, look at that. Okay, interesting. Looked like she got a little anxious, I couldn't tell there. Who could blame her, you know? There's a big helicopter flying above, it's loud, that's weird. I do have some training sessions planned with the drone in the not too distant future, so that might transition and help with the helicopter training, I'm not sure. So far so good, but there's still a lot to go through. This is why getting your pup out and about is so important. You never know what will happen, and these random experiences will help prepare your dog for the real world. The important thing to remember as well is that just because she's doing well now doesn't mean that in 2 weeks she won't completely revert. In fact, in my experience, she's likely to get more inquisitive and start wanting to lunge and play and get more active with dogs and investigate things that come by. I'm hoping to minimize that type of rude behavior by doing exercises like this. Every dog is completely different, so you just never know how it's gonna go. You just do your best to put them on the right course. If your dog shows signs of adjusting and acting normal in new places, attempt to do some light training. If they're open to listening to easy stuff you've previously gone over, then this is a sign that they're at ease in the new environment. But by default, most puppies won't focus intently in new places. That's normal. Maybe we'll work on a rollover. There we go. Nice job. What's that? Is that a puppy? Good job. I don't mind that she's looking at the puppy, so I'm not insisting that she pay attention to me. I'm just clicking the fact that she's acting civilized. Good job. Not waiting for a reaction to then correct her, but rather acknowledging that split second where she's good. I'm sure we'll do many desensitizing exercises like this in various places over the next couple of years, really. While Inertia was taking a nap in her crate, the yard guys came by. I completely forgot about this. Motorized sounds and space aliens walking around with strange leaf blower backpacks and riding on machines is bound to seem out of the ordinary to a puppy. And he was doing the leaf blower right here by the window, right next to Inertia, and she was reacting while she perked up a little bit, but that's one of those examples where you have to snap into training mode, rush over here, immediately grab your clicker, or if you don't have your clicker, at least be prepared to give them some encouragement for acceptable behavior. In this case, not barking, not going crazy. Let me see, I'm gonna invite her out here, but she's not allowed to just rush out. She has to hold a sit or a down before I'm gonna let her out. Oops, all right, see, that was my mistake. I got a little clumsy. Let's see if I can, hey. See if I can get her back in. See, that's damage control right there since I made a mistake. See, the mistake was not intervening quickly enough to shut the door before she rushes out. Got a lawnmower going by, more new sounds coming from out back, reacting well. In fact, she's in normal training mode, which I love because I'm actually working on teaching her not to run out of the crate just because it opens. Okay, come on. And just to give her the opportunity to let her know that it's okay to come out when I say okay. In our next episode, we're gonna see where Inertia is after her first week of training. Plus, we're gonna cover teaching her her name, leave it, come when called some more, and her first leash walking session. For those of you who wanna see more and frequent updates with Inertia, follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification. We'll see you guys in the next episode. I'll have links to everything I talked about in the description below.